watching Minute to Skim It on the Experience. So, hello. All right, we've got lots of books to review for you guys today. And Hannah just basically showed up just the number ones and showed them to me, and I was like, "Oh, we have
just for the indies."
Just for the indies, yeah. I was like, we have got a lot to do.
Hey guys,
we were here actually. I was busy staring off into space. I'm sorry.
I know. That happens quite frequently, especially during the break.
What? It's the voices. No, just kidding. How are we doing today, everybody? Today is New Comic Book Day, also known as
Real Talent, Rex and John.
Is that what
JD,
it says? Real Talent?
You know, you got to get John on that graphic. We got, break the crayons out
tonight,
or Peggy, whatever.
Tonight producing, we got JD, not the JV.
I'm super
happy.
He was practicing that before the show.
I was practicing that before the show. Put my
so JD, our favorite producer.
JD's getting put over, man.
I'm telling you, man. I like working with JD.
Although I like working with Kyle because Kyle knows a lot about food, and his family does food.
That's because he's constantly eating when he's producing the show, making the rest of us hungry.
I wish they had a job where you could get paid to eat when I was a kid.
Kyle, are you watching? God, I hope so.
No, he's not watching.
Yes, I hope so.
So a week ago, and this was me sort of having the red face all week in the online comic book community.
This was the flux capacitor problem.
This is a big problem. Having access to Dynamite means I have access to books generally before other people. I got a little bit enthusiastic with this first book we're going to talk about, and I kind of said, go out and buy it. The problem is, unless you had a DeLorean, you were not getting that book for 7 days.
Bye, Amy. Amy's leaving.
Bye, Amy. I don't.
So we cannot guarantee the quality of the production of this show now that Amy has left.
Full disclosure to everybody watching this show: the brains of the operation just walked out the door. So we're sort of here on.
Can't tell you what you're going to get, but it will be interesting.
She ran out the door.
She ran out the door.
You're alone, JD, with us.
Oh my God! No, don't leave me alone with them, Amy. JD, you're not good, man. She was like, "Oh, gotta go." So we always like to open the Wednesday show with what's in stores this week.
This is not a repeat of last week's show, in case you're confused.
This is not a repeat. This week, and there is not any book, I don't think, that gives me as much just fun to read as an Elvira book. And here we have this week, issue 1 is Elvira meets Vincent Price.
Deja vu. I feel like you've done this.
I know. I feel like we did this.
No, not we.
This cover is by Dave Acosta. This book is written by Dave Avallone, who is, the guy for Elvira. Juan Samu does the art. Taylor Esposito does the lettering. The interior of this book is just beautiful.
And it is actually available this week.
And it's actually available this week. The writer, Dave Avallone, is over, if you're in the Los Angeles area, he's over at Golden Apple Comics signing issues of this today. And from what I understand, that dealer has the different covers that are available. This book is just a lot of fun. No spoilers or any of that sort of stuff. But if you've read the Elvira books, you know that it's just pure 80s comedy horror, which I absolutely love. I talked to on Twitter today at Roy the Writer 1, mutual of mine, and he asked me, he's like, I'm at a new LCS because we're always talking about please support your local comic book stores. We'll get to that a little bit later. And he was setting up a new pull list, and he asked me, did I have any suggestions? My first recommendation was this. This is a book that is just a flat-out fun read. This book is extremely well done. This next book that came out today. And I said twice now, once on the podcast and once today on Twitter, there are very few characters that have been written and drawn at as consistently a high level for 50 years as Vampirella has. It's even more impressive to me because she is not a big two character. You know, if you say Spider-Man or Batman has had a big run, you're like, of course, they're 7-8 figure properties.
What's up, Dave?
Thanks for joining us, Dave. The other book that came out today is
John's going over the books that came out today that he did last week.
Vampirella 20. I know this is also not a flashback. Well, maybe people are getting deja vu.
This is not a rerun.
Vampirella 22 came out today, and what I mean by this is not a fun read. This is kind of like an edgy book. You know what I mean? Sometimes Vampirella does have a little bit of a comedic edge to it. This is like the hard, edgy, mistress of the night Vampirella. And I would absolutely tell people, if you're looking, it seems to me, I always catch the attention of Vampirella people where they either want more comedy or more horror. And I'm like, well, you know what? It always depends on the writer.
Right.
We've done a ton of Vampirella stuff here, and it's really good. But different creators have different tones and different takes on the character. Tom Snigowski is different from Nancy Collins. You know what I mean? You have to everybody has their own version of Vampirella, right? And then you kind of find that version. You find creators that share that version. Right. But I just, this is, Vampirella's 50-year anniversary. That's huge in comics.
The Unknown, what's up, dude?
Yeah, the Unknown is here.
So I have a very important question to ask.
Sure, go ahead.
Why do you have a different pair of glasses on every time I see you?
I'm a glasses collector. No, I'm not a glasses collector.
That's what I was getting to.
I do buy multiple pairs of glasses because I tend to.
Did you collect glasses?
I have a house that, of course, I live in, but I also have a unit that gets rented part of the time with buddies.
What does this have to do with glasses?
A shore house that gets rented part of the time. So I tend to be all over. What?
I have one pair of glasses.
You also have one watch. We'll talk about that when we're off the air.
So I got to tell everybody.
These are actually custom. These are cobalt blue Ray-Bans.
Yeah, no kidding. That's why I pointed them out.
That I had to order. These were not like your Warby Parker. Oh yeah, there's 8 pairs for $100. No.
8 pairs. What would you do with 8 pairs of glasses?
Extremely
apparently John would find out. Now I do want to mention, slight break, and we'll get to the first comic. John sent this unbelievable picture of a burger that he made.
Oh,
that thing was. Are you kidding me?
Facebook and Instagram.
Dude.
I tend to do that.
And I kind of was hoping you'd walk through that door with that burger to present to me. But I did not get the burger. So that means that we will be talking about food sometime during the show.
I'm a big fan of supporting small businesses, local businesses. That burger was made with ingredients, including the beef, that were raised, manufactured, processed within 8-9 miles of my house.
I got to find that picture.
And
I immediately wanted to go out and get that burger.
Where's Rex's porterhouse?
Yes, thank you. Where's my porterhouse?
People aren't watching to see us eat.
Again,
people are watching so
I'm
that
not sure at what point I indicated that was the primary concern. My getting and there was supposed to be cream spinach on the side.
We'll have to.
John has failed, just like he failed you last week with comics that you could get that didn't actually come out yet. And he failed to get me a porterhouse.
It built up a week's anticipation.
So make sure to tune in next week when I'm sure my porterhouse will appear. All right.
What
do you want to do?
It was Amy's porterhouse.
It is Amy's porterhouse. Nick is right. That is Rex's porterhouse.
Right. If you're not doing the show, you don't get the comment about
Rex's
the porterhouse.
Has been turned into a bar burger.
Okay.
Only Amy does.
What do we want to start with? You know what? Let's start with.
You want to jump right out into vintage?
Yeah. Why don't we grab what do we have? X-Men 59. We've gotten a ton of requests for Silver Age books. And, we've been, featuring them on the show. The response has been really good, so we'll continue to do that.
I do not have the presumed grades on my sheet.
Oh.
Do we have that? Let's see. All right, first one we're going to do is X-Men number 59.
If you could take that off the rack
I'm
for
not
me
touching it.
And place it here
so
it can be held. This is what the publisher has asked for. right there. That one.
Move to one of the other books.
We're moving to another one of the books, so you can put down your little easel there.
I have to put down my easel. We'll come back to that. I promise.
We're gonna come back because
I know there's somebody watching this going, "You gotta be kidding me!"
I know, the ultimate tease. Pick
You know
something
what?
else.
We're gonna pick this up just because.
Did we put a Green Hornet in today?
I don't know if there's a Green Hornet in today.
There
There
is no
is,
Green Hornet.
and there is an Emerald book.
Sorry,
we'll
John.
get to in a
No
little
Green
bit.
Hornet. All right, what do we got there?
This is John Carter, Warlord of Mars 1. This is a J. Scott Campbell variant cover, and I have to tell you, this
The black and white line art,
This is sweet.
which you and I have talked about before.
We've talked about this before. The line art on these black and white or single color variants.
Deja Thoris on the cover.
Deja Thoris on the cover. Somehow she always finds herself getting captured. Thank God. Ron Mars. This is his kind of spin on John Carter.
So, what did Dave write there? Can you say?
Oh, what's John's IG? You can find me on Instagram at @J, my last name Cole, Cohl. Generally, I'm talking there about food, my dog,
Eat
and
before you check it out,
now
because you will immediately want to go out and get
I'm going
something.
to start posting some stuff from this show on there too, so that
And
people will get hungry and then go to the
and
comic
then
book
bring
store.
some food here.
Bring some food.
JD's getting the grades, so you can put them up.
Perfect. This is a really, really sweet book.
So
These are like
suggested retail 75, and we have 3 tonight, and we'll do it at 50 for a 5-star book.
$50 5-star book. I'm going to let you know right now, this is a book that will be double that price at shows, because these chase books, you just don't see them. And when someone gets a hold of one, they just essentially, it seems to me, and this is just the corner of my eye going to shows pretty regularly up until the end of 2019, beginning of 2020. People, if a chase book is $100, they have the resale at $200. Now, I don't know what the negotiating process is, but I'll tell you right now, you will not find this book anywhere near $50 anywhere else.
And you and I have talked about it before, the black and white line art, the
Yeah.
blood red, the emerald green. There's a cleanness
it's
to these variants.
if you're a line art fan, I'm certainly not trying to take anything away from colorists, but if you're an inker,
Yeah, you
line art
insulted enough
guy,
people on Monday.
I know, or no, there'll be none of that today. I love everyone today. Getting books that are done in emerald green or blood red variants, where you can just really appreciate, the painstaking hours they spend at a drafting
Detail.
table, or nowadays, I guess maybe, with the big kind of screens they do, where they're, the digital screen with the digital pen or whatever. I can't imagine. This is why, and I always say this, when publishers are like, "Hey, you're behind on the deadline" or whatever, I'm like, I couldn't do this in 100 years. So when someone's like a week late on a book, I kind of get it.
So to stress the scarcity, this was limited to only 100 copies. So there were only 100 copies ever printed. And again, we talk about the line art. John and I are big fans. There's just a cleanness to it. You can see the art, and it's not insulting colorists by any stretch of the imagination.
No, not at all.
That's John's job.
No, it's not.
Sometimes when the color splashes on there, you can't. You miss the details of the actual art, and that's where I love these variant covers. These chase books with the line art.
It's one of these things where, like I said, periodically I'll see these books out there, and I'm shocked at, and I get it. It's with everything. Now, of course, the difference with our stuff is they're meant to be open, touched, read. There's a tactile sensation to comic books. Everybody knows you grab a Silver Age book or whatever, you grab a rare book. Something about having it in your hands is just, you don't get that opportunity with these different sort of sports memorabilia, Hollywood memorabilia. These things are usually slabbed or somehow other encased in lucite, gas-filled plastic, whatever, and they just never get touched. The prices on these things are astronomically high. Proportionately, if you're one of these people that's very numbers oriented, the markup for collectibles and comics is significantly less, and you get the joy of, I can actually take this book out and read it.
Right. Well, it's a collectible for a different reason.
Yeah,
You know,
it hits different, as they say, and I think that's, you know what I mean. That's like an added bonus. Even the Silver Age books, we joke around a lot. I don't touch them because I really am sausage fingers, and these are going to be, usually Ronald or Wilfredo's books or the Unknowns books or something. So I try not to touch them, but you can when they're yours. There is a I'm trying to think of the name of it. It's like Factory of Fear. It's like a 15-cent era Marvel horror book. And I've bought this book 3 times because of all the different memories associated with my childhood. I read this thing. It's in a plastic bag. It's not even boarded. I read it, 5-6 times a year. And then, of course, these things are old. And, it's not like I got the most pristine copy to begin with. So I've bought this book multiple times. I have a travel copy. I have a copy in the bag.
kind of like your glasses and watches.
You know what? Most of my life was on the road. So I sort of had to learn to be, now we live very much in a mobile age, but once upon a time, having an office in your truck, and you'd have to try to find a place to plug in or whatever. It wasn't easy. It's a lot easier now.
Well, I think you touch on a really important point, and what makes comic collectibles different than, say, movie memorabilia or sports memorabilia. All of those things are tied to an event or a celebrity.
Yes.
Whereas, when you talk about comic collectibles, it is the content of itself that makes one more popular or more collectible than another. So it makes it very unique in the world of collectibles, if you ask me.
Every comic fan I've ever spoken to, and it's been a fair amount of them over 30 years of cons and shows, you pick up a comic. It doesn't matter what the comic is. There is someone that has a connected memory to that, whether it's a comic book store, a spinner rack, in my case, a rack in a train station where a parent, sibling, you picked up the book. Sometimes it's a child who bought them. Everybody sort of has a connected memory. And I don't know if you necessarily always get that with other, you know what I mean? We are going to go back to, we got the presumed grade for this now?
I don't know. JD, do we have presumed grade yet?
How about you load up X-Men 59? Try this one more time.
All right, here we go. This is John's new brainchild. Okay, so we got a presumed grade of 5. You have to pick that up.
That seems so much worse.
What? Holding it?
That looks like it's going to fall forward.
I'm holding it.
Okay.
So it's not going to fall forward.
Okay.
Yes, JD. We're trying not to pay any attention to the Nick behind the curtain.
Somebody's got to be behind the curtain.
I would prefer
I should be in the warehouse finding more product.
Yeah,
somebody call Amy, tell her to come back. I prefer the disembodied head.
Actually, Nick should be focused on publishing my Lone Ranger Green Hornet sequel, but that'll have to be after the break.
That's a discussion that you'll talk about after the show. So
this is X-Men Volume 159. The cover here, this is that X-Men sweet spot from, we no longer have Kirby and Lee doing this book. Also, Jay Gavin was on this book quite a bit. This is relatively new talent, now legendary names, Roy Thomas, Neil Adams. And they took the X-Men in a direction which I think every creator has essentially sort of, touched on their way through the books. Even Claremont talked about, his version of the X-Men derives much more from the short run of Roy Thomas and Neil Adams than it does the books of Lee and Kirby.
So we have X-Men number 59, and we have it tonight. We have one for $45 with a presumed grade of 5.0. That's
nice.
So, and again, as we always say, with the vintage stuff, Silver Age comics, we get them where we can get them.
Thank you, sir.
Be nicer if I would porterhouse on that.
Well, Nick preferred the easel to the little robot hands I was going to get from the road department.
I thought that would have been fun.
None of us did.
All right, so what do you want to go to next?
What do we want to go to next? You know what? Maybe we'll grab.
There we go.
This Daredevil. This is Daredevil 181. This is, I guess, one of 82. These are like the repros they did.
Yes, they are. But this one is signed by Frank Miller.
Yeah, I was going to say that. I don't want to bury the story here.
Yeah, a little bit more.
This one's signed by Frank Miller.
Suggested retail price of $299.99. And tonight we're going to do it for Daredevil number 181. We'll do it at $181.10. I don't know why we got 10 cents on that, but it says 10 cents on my sheet.
Oh, it's for Daredevil 181. Thank you, JJ.
So you know what we're going to do? We're going to make John pay that dime.
I'm happy to pay the dime. Of course, you've got your
So
COA.
we'll do it at 181.
Seal in the back. I'll be happy to pay the dime.
So
Someone
we
will enjoy
only
this.
have 4 of these, and I believe they truly are the last 4 we have in inventory. Frank Miller, obviously, legendary.
I was just going to say, we use this phrase a lot. Frank Miller is a first ballot Hall of Fame comic book creator. The list of his achievements are way longer than this show runs. If you know who Frank Miller is one of those, if you know, you know. Daredevil, there are people who say Daredevil has never reached that same level as it did when Miller was on the book. I always leave that up to the hardcore, Hornhead fans to rage in the Facebook groups. Miller is a giant in the industry, and he's a genius, quite frankly.
Let's see what Dave said.
I've read online that he is not doing the level of shows, levels of signing he'd been doing previously. So, if you're thinking, hey, I really want a Miller signature.
Well, Dave, Dave, savvy collector, he's got one. All right, signed by Frank Miller. So this is a guy who knows how to collect, knows his stuff. So Frank Miller on this particular comic for $181 is definitely.
It's the price without fear. I like that. That's good. It's
good old JD.
JD, man.
So
Kyle should be paying you significantly more. We'll talk about that on the break.
So we have 4 of those available tonight at $181. And one of many comics we're going to get through tonight.
Yeah, I want to make sure. I know that people patiently wait sometimes. Hey, I really want a book. I want a book. If you're watching and there's something that you want to see and we haven't gotten to
definitely
yet,
reach out to us
because we're talking about meatball sandwiches or something. Say, hey guys, STFU, get to the books and let us know what you want to see, and we'll be happy to sort of throw it up here. This is, and people who've been following me on social media know I've talked about this. We have signed books, we have slabbed books, we have rare variants. We're trying to touch base on everything here. This is Batman: The Adventures Continue, issue 1, CGC grade 9.8. At 9.8, like dust mites haven't touched this book.
Dust mites. So suggested retail at $89.99, and tonight we have it for $50. So are
you sure it's $50? Because I don't want this to be a thing. All right.
If it says that on my sheet, that's the end of it.
We have 5. This is our 5-star slab for $50, and I'll tell you right now.
We're always going to try, and certainly with
Paul Dini, Alan Burnett, Ty Templeton.
With the graded books, we're always going to try to bring you something that's 9.6 or better. I think one show that I did with Nick, we even had some 10s.
Wow.
But the whole point of obviously graded books is to bring you the highest grade we can possibly find. But we have, how many did I say? 1.
We have 1. I'm generally assuming we have 1 of these.
You have assumed correctly, sir. So, we still got time.
For a lot of people, myself included, the Batman animated series is sort of, that really turned me more into a Batman fan than, some of the other eras. Much respect to guys like Denny O'Neil, Jim Aparo, but Batman the animated series sort of crystallized what Batman is and should have been to me, and they put it out there. And they still do it. It's not like I know the animated series is done, but there's a ton of related books, merch. It's not like the animated series has gone away.
Right.
It's 25-year anniversary, I think we're at now. And, I to get a book for $50, guaranteed 9.8. That's sort of, people are, I always try to say we try to have entry-level price points. $50 if you are looking for a slabbed book, particularly Batman. We've talked about this before. Batman's the platinum character. He's sort of like the platinum standard for, being over, being popular, being valuable. When was the last time a Batman book went down in value? Ever.
Right. And you got to remember when you're talking about 9.8s.
Unless someone rips it in their excitement to get it out of the package.
Yeah, but when you're talking about 9.8, realize as publishers, you get stuff directly from the printer and it comes in damaged. Okay, it just happens. In transit, whatever the case may be.
The printer's going to say that's not on you. It's on you.
I know, right? So that becomes an issue with the insurance. But the point of fact is that it's unless you're there at the printer waiting for the first copy to fall out, it's almost impossible to get these kind of grades. And then we talked previously. I think this is the last time we talked to Kyle. The backup at CGC right now.
Oh, if you are wanting to get a book graded, and I am in no way, shape, or form trying to ruin that party, there, like everything else these days, there is a significant backlog. It's not getting any cheaper to have books graded and slabbed. It's certainly not getting any easier. We've sort of got this backlog now. If you are looking for a really nice, really popular character slab book, $50, this is about as good as it's going to get. I don't mind telling you right now. Your book in cards on the table, this is this is your moment.
But when you send the book in to be graded and slabbed at CGC, there's no guarantee what you're getting either.
Oh yeah.
You always think you're going to get something higher than you probably end up getting.
How many times?
Very rare it goes the opposite.
If you look at the comics Twitter hashtag, you will see more often than not these collectors are like, I got this book back from CGC, and they're not happy with the grade. I hate to say it, but more people are not happy with the grade, and that's really an expectations issue. That's certainly not meant in any way as a slight to CGC, but people thinking this book's going to be an 8.8, or whatever, and it's 6.5, and they're and they're not happy. This is a way for you to get a book that it's basically pay one price.
Yeah, and you guarantee what you're going to get.
That's JD just threw up a great graph.
Our favorite producer, JD.
JD, not the JV. I love that. JD, are we going to a break now?
I think we are. What time is it? I can't see.
Do we have time to do another book?
Did you bring a watch where you can actually tell time?
No. I did it because it matched my shirt.
There we go. And
no, actually, assuming this watch is right, it's 6:30 EST, so I guess we're going to a break. We'll be back in a couple minutes with some more stuff. JD takes us out.
To be continued. 3 little words that hold the secret to the next great story. 3 words that will thrill you, confound you, give life to new possibilities. Every variation of To Be Continued is a promise of adventure, a promise of excitement, a promise of unseen wonders and unexplored worlds. A promise that every issue you read makes you a part of a never-ending journey. And behind every page, there will be an unopened door waiting for you. This story to be continued at your local comic book shop today. Visit comicshoplocator.com today.
Hey,
Welcome
guys.
back, everybody. We've been sitting here, and I've actually been scrolling through some of the comments on social media. People who kind of follow at @the_EXP1. This seems like a good time to mention this really quick. If you can, if you don't mind, if you enjoy the show, if you enjoy what we're doing, follow, subscribe on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, the different sort of platforms we utilize. If you like a particular show or books, share with friends and family and other collectors. That would be awesome. And I always say to people, like, they forget, people are busy. And then all of a sudden they're like, you know what I mean? Hit the notification bell and you'll get that sort of, notification on your phone, hey, Rex and an unnamed assistant, according to the graphics, will be offering books.
And if there's something that you haven't seen that you would like to see, let us know.
Yeah,
absolutely. We'll do our best.
If it's Silver Age, maybe even if you want to see something from the Golden Age, I'm certainly not going to guarantee anything, but if you want something from the Golden Age, Bronze Age, please get at us. You throw it up in the comments here, or maybe just at the show on one of the social media platforms during the day.
Let us know.
Like if we do the show on Wednesday, if you tell someone on Tuesday, hey, I'm really looking for, Spider-Man 200, at least someone can go back and look for it.
Yeah, exactly. We'll do our best.
Yeah, we'll absolutely do our best. You can, and of course, you guys can always, after the show, you go to the DF website. You can contact, Rex throws his email out every week. Rex is actually the guy. There's like no degree of separation here. You email Rex, Rex goes and finds your book if it's available, and then we put it on the show. Or
Amy goes and finds the book.
All right, so maybe there's 1 degree separation, but essentially this is not the process. I hate to say it, but there's a lot of services. There's a lot of, like my cousin Vinny, there's a lot of buffers now. You know what I mean? You're talking to someone and it's social media and they're going through this, that, or whatever. Essentially here's an opportunity for you to email the show, email the channel, and let us know why have I not seen any.
Exactly.
Why isn't there more Green Lantern? Well, that would probably be me. But the point is, why, if there's a character you're looking for.
Again, let us know.
Let us know. If you're wondering why there's not a lot of Flash, Nick loves the Flash, and I'm pretty sure he's not partnering with any of it. But if there is somebody who wants to see the Flash, let us know. Maybe we'll catch him when he's out to lunch. We'll grab a book, put it on the show real fast.
Here we go. There's Jenna. Amy is the genius behind the scenes. Well, that's true, but she's not here today.
She completely is. She's
not even here, so could be big trouble. It's hard to say what we might do.
One of my favorite Steve Martin movies is Man with Two Brains. And tonight we're
one of my brains.
tonight it's just Rex and I. So that means essentially two men running on.
We got Nick behind the curtain.
We got Nick. Thankfully, Nick is here.
Pulling levers.
Nick goes to make a phone call. It's off the rails.
But all the levers are fake, so don't worry about it.
One of the characters that I should say one of the artists, and I think this artist is frighteningly popular, and I mean talented, and maybe I hang out in the wrong comics chat rooms. Maybe I belong to the wrong groups.
You hang out in the wrong place.
In the wrong part of town. But I don't hear his name mentioned often enough. And he's done some of the most amazing covers for Dynamite. Joseph Michael Linsner. This is Lady Zoro #3, high-end vegan art cover. This thing is just absolutely beautiful.
And we love the vegan art covers because without the trade dress, it really becomes a piece of art.
This is Alex DeCampi. I think if I remember correctly, Ray Villegas does the interior artwork. Quite honestly, the Linsner covers sort of, if Dynamite has a current signature look, I would say a lot of times it's Linsner. In the beginning and the first 10, 12 years of Dynamite, it was Alex Ross. Alex did the covers and, that was that. But now as we've sort of expanded, you see Linsner. There is a Linsner print on a wall here in Dynamite at the Green Hornet, and I'm pretty sure when they move out, that won't make it in the move to the new one.
So
That'll be voluntary to help.
So the lady Zoro suggested retail of $75. Tonight we're going to do it at $19.19 for the year Zoro first appeared, 1919.
1919. Zoro. People don't realize Zoro
Swish.
is one of the earliest sort of
Mass superhero,
mass
if you will.
superheroes. You've got the Scarlet Pimpernel. You've got a few others, but Zoro is real early on. And we're talking about having a more inclusive world, and I'm pretty sure in the comic strip world, the first Mexican adventurer was Zorro. You just didn't see a lot of that,
And it was a
in
character.
1919.
Yeah, and it's a character that's lasted through the test of time. That's another very rare thing.
Dynamite has done a couple different versions of Zorro. Well, not versions of him, but they've done different books of Zorro at different points in his life. You know what I mean? When he's a young man, almost like Zorro Year One, and then you get like the full arc of the Zorro comics. And then we've seen Zorro be older. He's an older gentleman, sort of Hidalgo era, I'll call it. And the character is just something about the character really kind of connects. You know what I mean?
So it looks like the Unknown picked up a Zorro. And just so everybody
Nice job.
knows,
It's a really nice book.
we only had 3 to start,
I'm
so
just
now we
gonna-
only have 2.
I'm going to throw this up here one more time. These are just great.
Again, without the trade dress,
Again,
similar
yeah.
reason I like the line art, the black and whites, the emerald green and the blood red, is without the trade dress, you get to really see the cover itself. And all of the focus is on the art on the cover as opposed to with the trade dress and everything being like busy.
My guess is if someone is sitting here watching this, they're like, these guys, they don't like the trade dress. They don't like color. That's not true. That's not true at all. Comics are
But we love cheesesteaks.
a complete, right? After the break, no. They are a complete package. But after you've been collecting for a while, there are certain things that you sort of really kind of gravitate towards. For me in art, it's very much line work and inking. And I just think when you get these sort of, vegan versions of the character of a book where, I'm not distracted. I'm fully seeing what's going on here.
Right.
The character, the background, which the artist has worked very hard for, and unfortunately gets covered with a logo and the publisher imprint and the price and the barcode and about, a million other things that need to go on a cover in order to be published these days. This is one of these books too. I say this all the time. 1919 for a chase book is great. The last show I went to in Chicago, there was an area called like the Great Chicago Con Chase or something, and they had a section for chase books. And I've never seen a small area filled with like 700-800 people like this in my life. And it wasn't
Fire hazard.
It wasn't quite the Wall Street stock market scene, you know what I mean? But it was crowded, and people were screaming, trying to get books, and those prices were not the prices that we have here. I'll tell you right now, this book would not be 1919 at a show or
What a
con.
Dave right there. No Zorro equals no Batman. What's that?
Fact.
You're
fact.
exactly right. You're
Yeah.
exactly right. No Zorro, you wouldn't have Batman. You probably, I don't know if you get the
Yep.
Shadow.
A lot of the characters.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, as you say, Scarlet Pimpernel and Zorro were really your first mass
You sort of had
heroes,
these.
if you will.
There was an era where you went with masked characters, and then there was the era of you had to have a fedora and a pair of 45s. Everybody was sort of,
A sign
and
of
I hate
its
to say
time.
this, it was a sign of the times. There was a little bit of, swiping from the shadow, let's be honest. But it was a sign of the times back then where we're in the Depression. People are kind of, not on their game. Things aren't great. Seeing somebody come out, pull up in a flashy car, it's very appealing. They don't, these characters operate outside the law. That's very appealing. It was appealing in 1919. It's appealing in 2019.
And John remembers depression because his flux capacitor problem took him back there.
I was in high school. I'm not quite that old, but
so
let's let's kind of flip to the opposite of a character like Zoro, who's a skilled human with a sword, to the character that arguably this is the most powerful comic book character created on a regular basis, Superman. This is Action Comics 1000. This is one of these books where it's literally an all-star cast of creators.
Yes.
And oh, by the way, the book is signed by Jim Lee.
And I believe that's the DF cover variant, the Dynamic
I
Forces
do
variant.
believe that's the Dynamic Forces.
And this one is signed by Jim Lee.
Yeah.
And we have 4 of these available, a suggested retail of $299.99. Tonight we're going to do it at $193.80.
80 cents.
Can't imagine why.
You know what? This again, and I certainly don't want to be repetitive, but I feel like it's important to mention we say this all the time. We want people to buy what they like. If you buy what you like, regardless of price, you're not particularly unhappy. But there is a dollar figure attached to these things. And it's nice to know these things don't really go down in value. If you follow the collectibles market at any level, you kind of always see them going up. And, you will not see this book at $193.80.
How many is it limited to?
I think there are 10 of these.
So there are 10 of the signed version of this by Jim Lee, signed in gold. And we have all 4 here. Did I say 4? I said 4, right? Yes, 4. So we have all 4 here. What numbers do we have? We have 2 of 10, 3 of 10, 4 of 10. What do you got?
This is number 1.
So we have 1, 2, 3, and 4 of 10.
So the first person to pick this up and claim this tonight gets their choice.
Signed by Jim Lee in gold. And obviously when we sell out these 4,
it's sure nice that the publisher signed this book.
Yeah, right.
Gee, maybe we ought to get our publisher to start signing some books.
So $193.80 tonight, and probably something we're not going to see again because it's Jim Lee.
Yeah, I don't
variant cover.
The gold signature. Not to mention, like you said, they're here and then they're not here. Yep. For years I always had the opposite of FOMO. I could always get it later. And the number I can't even recall the number of times I'll get it at the last day of the con, or I'll get it at the end of the show, and then of course it's not there. And the whole drive home, I'm like, driving back to South Jersey from Baltimore on 95, sitting in traffic, being upset because a book I wanted, I should have picked up when I was there. It's a comic. It's not like I have to carry a refrigerator in the store. This is a great way to grab this book. We have 4, and they are 4 and done.
So if you're looking for a Action
Jim
1000
Lee signature, looking for
cover,
Action 1000, and if you're looking
looking for a Jim Lee autograph, this is your chance tonight. So once they are gone, they will be gone. All right. So what do you want to go to next, bro?
You know what? The other thing I wanted to mention real quick about Action Comics 1000 is DC does an amazing job with these sort of anniversary milestone books.
Yes, I agree.
Huge cast of characters in here. This is way more than just, a book Jim Lee signed. It's 1,000. It's a comic that's reached 1,000. That's like a serious milestone, which is partly why Dynamic Forces decides, we're gonna make this a thing. It's not just gonna be a book off the newsstand or whatever. We're gonna do our own versions, get our signatures. for the people who really are into the collectible end of the comics universe, your best bet in a pandemic and post-pandemic world is to get them from, us, get them from the website, or get them from one of the dealers, one of the hosts of one of the shows. All the hosts of shows are dealers at, various parts of the country levels. Right. You can reach out to them. We always want people to support your local comic book store.
Yes, absolutely.
In the rare event that that's not possible, you can absolutely reach out through an email, through the internet, and connect with a local comic book store. We'll call it a semi-local store that can still help you, still do your pull list. You can pick up their books, shipped to you. Different stores are working in different states at different levels. Sometimes it's curbside. Absolutely, there's no reason. I've seen this. It's sad. I've seen people on Facebook say, "Oh, the pandemic came and I kind of stopped going to the comic book store." I totally get it. I absolutely totally get it. But that doesn't mean you should stop reading comics, and it absolutely means you should still pick up your pulls. Or, and this is something a retailer mentioned to me and asked me to throw out there. We mentioned it once or twice. Certainly not to bring the party down, but if you do decide for whatever reasons you're not going to pick up your books. Maybe you're, whatever the circumstances are, let your store know ASAP. There are people that it's like, I'm going to quit the gym, and 6 months later they're still getting that membership hitting their account.
Yeah.
Your local comic book store, your retailer is doing his or her job, pulling the books you asked for every month, right? There's not a lot they can do with books, 6 months later. This is literally just money sitting in their back room that they're not getting. So if you decide I'm moving, whatever, as a common courtesy, just an email. Trust me, they'll understand. They won't hate you. They might be sorry to see you go, but they'll appreciate it much more knowing from the jump rather than wondering where you are a year from now and someone's like, "Oh yeah, he moved away. Oh yeah, she stopped reading comics."
Yeah, and we say this every show is support your local comic book shops. The idea behind the programming here with our comic collectibles hour and the experience as a whole is to grow the comic book industry.
Yeah, we want to grow the industry. We've talked about this before. Right now, you have sort of this massive tree of like a subgenre of science fiction, of superhero, comic book movies, whatever you want to call them, video games, merchandise, a huge assortment of paraphernalia. I mean, $800 Iron Man shoes from Converse online. All that came from the comic book industry.
The source material.
And the soil that grows in is your local comic book store. You kind of need to take care of that. So when you're going to see a $500 million movie in IMAX for $22, and you're a guy like me that sneaks in a thermos full of sushi and a flask full of an adult beverage and sits in the back and watches the movie 4 or 5 times in a day,
they're going to be looking for you now.
They're going to be looking for me now. But, I thank my local comic book store for that. And before that, I thank people who had spinner racks way back in the day.
Well, I mean, you look at all the movies, and where's the source material coming from?
Yeah,
it's all a story.
And I'm
that
certainly
you've read
not bashing the rest of Hollywood, but let's be honest, there's a lot of things that just aren't really exciting by their own admission.
They ran out of, in a sense. I mean, you ran out of stories, and I think the popularity of movies based on the MCU. And
is it like Shakespeare or somebody said there's only 14 stories or 4 or whatever? There's only so many stories. You can only retell them so many times.
Yeah. And so they needed something new, and what better source material than comics?
That being said, let's get back to the books, because I know people like, "Oh, we're getting scolded." No, we're not scolding anymore.
Let's do a remark.
We're just want to do a remark.
Yeah, remark alert.
Twist my arm. Remark alert. Bang.
Which one did you pick up?
I grabbed Daredevil.
Oh, there we go.
This is just, man. Ken Hazer. If we don't mention his name in this show, you should probably rumble the studio, because
obviously
we've been taken over
fans.
by pod people.
Yeah, I obviously did. John and I are.
It'd be like Invasions of the Body Snatchers. Wait a minute, they didn't mention Hazer. Get down to Dynamite.
Something's wrong.
This is Daredevil 600, the Elektra sketch.
And
You know,
we've talked
Elektra
about
as Daredevil.
his range, and then we talk about it, I think, every show. And this is why there's always a sketch cover by Ken Hazer, because we are huge fanboys.
This is this is the conclusion of the Mayor Fisk storyline.
And thank you, Dave. We still don't have the claxons for the remark alert.
I know we got a remark alert. We had Dave join
there we go.
too, but
JD's jumping in.
You know what I want? I really want them to sample the red alert from Star Trek.
Ooh. The original
remark
series.
alert, the original one. Yeah, the original one's obnoxious. This is an amazing book. I'm not going to sit here and take up more time putting Ken Hazer over. If you watch this show, you know that Ken Hazer is a master at this particular medium. You know, this particular form of comic book art. His remarks, I've seen a lot of remarks, and not to disrespect any other creators. I don't know if I don't know. I'm not. I'm just saying I don't know if I've seen a creator with Ken's range.
I would agree.
You know, we've talked about it. We've seen Scrooge McDuck. You know, we've seen Thor. We've seen,
Betty and Veronica.
We've seen Betty and Veronica. I mean, here's Elektra as Daredevil.
Is that Alex? All right, Alex. There should be JD. If you could throw up the information or the link, a submission form. Let us know in the chat if you're interested in something.
Yeah,
did we even get to the price?
Type it. Oh, I don't know. We didn't get to the price. I'm
no,
sorry.
Man, you keep rambling on.
I'm sorry. How many of these do we have?
We have 5.
Oh, okay.
So Daredevil number 600 with the Elektra sketch by Ken Hazer, and we have 5 available. And tonight we're doing it at $81.
Nice. Electrified discount.
There you go,
nice.
JD. Right on it, buddy.
Throwing back a little bit to, we've talked about Frank Miller. I mean, Frank Miller made Elektra. He took her from being, we'll say, maybe a secondary character, supporting character, background character. Let's be honest. We got an Elektra movie for what it was. Before a lot of the other characters, which are way more popular. I tell people this all the time. Elektra's on the big screen before Iron Man. I know that sounds crazy, but that's how it worked out.
I liked it. I mean, I know the critics weren't thrilled with it, but I liked the movie personally. I like Jennifer Garner. Yeah, I thought she did a great job. The other dude, the one that played Daredevil, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know if that guy has a future in superhero comics.
I don't know if he's got a future in films. I'll have to bring up J-Lo on the phone and ask her.
Superman.
I say this all the time, and certainly not to name drop, but I did catering when I was younger for.
Can we get a name drop alert, JD?
I know, right? For local productions of Mallrats, and one day, Ben Affleck comes over to the trailer to get lunch, and he's legitimately talking about Batman. He's legitimately, he's talking about what's going on in the comic with one of the grips. They're talking about like a local comic book store or whatever. And, the person I was working with is like, it's one of the people in the movie, quit what you're doing and start making their sandwich. I was making Kevin Smith's turkey on a pita. So I'm like, no, I'm pretty sure this person will wait for Kevin's sandwich.
Well, compared to the burger you made the other day, man, turkey on a pita, that's pretty plain Jane right there.
That is what Kevin Smith likes to eat. He's talked about it before. He had a place in Red Bank right near the Count Basie Theater that he got it. He was not fussy, but there was just certain things. He was one of these guys that when he's in his mode, he's editing, he's filming, whatever. He wants to just have what he wants. He doesn't want to have to try new food. So I would always, pitas were not popular catering food in the 90s. They just weren't. Anytime I knew we were doing anything for, Mallrats, I made sure they were there, whether he ordered them or not. But yeah, Ben Affleck, people were like, oh, how into comics is he? Oh, trust me.
Price.
$81. So we're doing it tonight. The Ken Hazer resketch, Elektra resketch.
Resketch? He's only sketching it once.
Sketch cover. $81 tonight. We only have 5. So maybe before we go to the next break, we should do a quick recap. So we had the Daredevil 181 repro signed by Frank Miller, and that was for $181. And we've talked about what a legend Frank Miller is.
Yeah.
The Daredevil 600 with the Electra sketch by Hazer, which we just had for $81. And again, we're huge fans of Hazer's work, obviously.
Oh yeah.
The Action 1000, the exclusive DF cover, and signed by Jim Lee, and we have that at $193.80 tonight. And then when we'll get to the rest of Silver Age when we come back from the break.
Yeah, when we come back from the break, we're going to come back and we're going to do a little silver mining.
Yeah.
So looks like there's even one or two Bronze Age books here too.
So we did the X-Men number 59, presumed grade of 5.0, and we're doing that for $45 tonight, and we have one. And then what else did we do? We did the Batman, The Adventure Continues number 1, CGC graded, guaranteed 9.8. We only have one of those for $50, and that's guaranteed. That's the one you're going to get.
Yeah, that's your 5-star book. If you're looking to kind of, jump into the collectibles market in like a meaningful, noticeable way, that's your move. When we come back, we're going to talk Silver Age. We're going to talk Bronze Age. We're going to do another slab book. Something which is near and dear to my heart. When we come back, 3 minutes? Take us out, JD.
There's something for every imagination at your local comic shop. Visit ComicShopLocator.com to find a store near you.
Today's comics market is ripe with new titles by creators who are determined to get their books into your hands. My name is Henri Compen. For the last decade, I've been making and selling my own creator-owned comics and dealing as a collector in live sales. My signature series, Yi Sun Shin, is the book that cannot be defeated in battle and has over 250,000 copies in print. Now I'm taking comics to the next level and laying the groundwork for my fellow creators to get their voices heard so they can connect directly with you. This is your chance to engage live with top comic book talent and get your comics signed without having to wait in long lines or pay any fees. But remember, we only have a limited amount of their books in stock, so always remember to call it as you see it.
Hey
We're
guys,
back.
we're back.
So I understand. We just got word from on high, or maybe I should say down low in the vault, where Nick is mining, always mining. We have the Ken Hazer Remark. What did you want to charge these poor people before?
$81.
$81. You're soaking our audience. Rex doesn't get the price any more books today.
Cool.
The NSRP, the Nick suggested retail price for this book, is going to be $61. 1961, the year Daredevil debuted.
Are you sure?
Is that right?
I don't know.
61 now.
I thought it was 1964.
Oh, so
But it's 61 now.
It's 61 now.
John messed it
It's
up.
funny how John's having fun and blaming Rex when what John was really thinking was, I'm messing with Nick.
I'm just gonna let John. I just let him hang himself with the rope. I just kept letting him.
And now I got people that'll be messaging me. What is in that bottle you're drinking? I swear to God, it's just coconut water.
You got to realize this is the guy who told you to go pick up books on the wrong day.
I did. Oh my goodness. I would be happy to cover. John has the power to change space and time. Thank you, JD. This was going to be $64. Now it's $61. I imagine I'll have to
check that flux capacitor.
No, I got to send Nick $3 and what, 10 cents? How often have I been tonight? I'm going to start getting
we got
a
the
bill
dime
from
on the Frank Miller one. So yeah, so you're racking it up there, buddy.
I got to tell you, those $61 for Ken Hazer. I mean, this combines the best of signatures right here, original art, and it's not just original art. I mean, it's like a little bit of. It's also partly commission,
right?
You know what I mean? Because original art, it's in the book. You know, it's been sort of discussed between the publisher, the writer, what needs to be done. This is literally just giving Ken a blanket, saying, do something super cool, and this is what he comes up with.
I mean, well, I'm a fan, so
I mean,
we talk about Hazer all the time. And the work that he does, the range that he has, the different types of characters, that he can draw. You've mentioned this. Just he can draw Disney style. He can draw, almost any.
If you've been watching this show for a while, and he does these things a lot of times in like metallic inks, which artists almost universally agree, not the greatest.
No.
For work,
glob smears.
Globs. There's a reason a lot of these guys a lot of times just work with like a blue pencil or whatever.
Hey, Wilfredo, what's going on?
Hey,
buddy?
Wilfredo, what's going on, bud? Glad you joined us.
What are the slabs? Well, we covered one, Wilfredo.
You know what? It's Wilfredo, so we will jump back in here real quick. Wilfredo, this is Batman: The Adventures Continue #1. This was our 5-star book of the night. The CGC grade is 9.8. And as a 5-star book, this was $50 tonight.
Guaranteed 9.8. We only have one.
Yeah, we have one. This is it. This is 1 of 1. This is one of these deals where, and I certainly didn't want to, belabor. Oh, it's sold. Okay. We're going to talk about this a little bit later when we do. Rex will be sending this your way. Or actually, Amy will be if she ever comes back. Amy left when the show started, and my biggest fear was she was going to like a job fair or something.
She's been complaining about you, John.
What?
I don't know. I'm just saying.
Seeing as how we started talking about this, we're going to move to another slab book. But right now, we've talked about this before, there's a backlog at CGC. There's also a lot of moving parts. There's cost associated with this. Generally speaking, I don't think you send one book. You send books to get graded. Then there's the whole shipping and handling. That's all on you. Here we're going to offer, I'm going to throw this up here. This is another 9.8. This is Alien #1. This is the Peach Momoko variant cover. Man, this is someone whose name, I could power a city with the electricity coming off her name right now. I'm trying to get this at an angle where you can actually see her work, because man, I got to tell you, this is someone that really kind of channels the original vibe of Alien on this cover.
So
this is guaranteed 9.8.
Yeah,
this is
the only one.
This is one of one, and this one and done. You don't have to run around. You don't have to do anything. Basically, you hit claim. You hit, the link pops up, and you are good to go.
So, Alien #1, Peach Momoko variant cover, CGC guaranteed graded 9.8. Suggested retail $89.99, and tonight we'll do it for $79 for the year that Alien came out, 1979. I'll never forget that.
This is going to be a solid pickup for an Alien fan. This is going to be a solid pickup for a slab collector.
Or a Momoko fan.
A Momoko fan. So, I mean, from what I've seen, that art is not $79.
Should we stop talking? I think Wilfredo picked that one up too.
You want this one too, Wilfredo? And we are done with the Wilfredo portion of the show.
Just get warmed up.
I know, right? We're just getting warmed up. But
Wilfredo, I will guarantee we'll get more slab books up for you. Okay. So obviously Wilfredo is picking up the slabs.
We'll send the message pigeon down into the mine where Nick is. Tell him to take a turn from the silver mine into the slab
into
area.
the can. So what do you think? So should we do some silver mining?
I am happy to do some silver mining. Well, Fredo, I got to tell you though, that Peach Momoko cover is, and I'm sorry, it was a little bit difficult to show with the lights and the lens, and it's slabbed, so those are always a little bit tricky. But when you get this book, you are really, really going to be happy.
Let's do number 60.
60?
Let's see.
Teen Titans request.
Oh, who's requesting Teen
Somebody
Titans?
requested Teen Titans?
You want to go to that next? All right. Let's go to that next.
Somebody
today.
wants to see the Teen Titans?
Yep.
So the Teen Titans book.
Go ahead.
Oh, this is a bronze book, so I'll touch it, but carefully. We should have levels. Like bronze, I touch with gloves. Silver, we use this for. Gold, I step out of the shot, and Nick does. This way, there's snow. Everybody I knew had this book and read this book. This is the first Deathstroke, the Terminator. Deathstroke is everywhere in the DC universe. He's had multiple pushes, as we would say. He's been portrayed by, Manu Bennett is just, to me, I look at Manu Bennett and I see Deathstroke now. But, this is the new Teen Titans, #2, first Deathstroke, the Terminator. What?
We have one, and we have it at $38 tonight.
Okay. That's you know what? It's one. It's the only one we have. The ask is $38. If you are looking for this, if this is on your list, your checklist, I don't know if I've seen this book anywhere.
And we've got a presumed grade of 2.0.
I was just about to ask you that.
Yeah. So it's definitely a reader's copy.
Yeah, I mean,
we're gonna. We're always, as we say, if it's not slabbed by CGC, it's graded by,
looks like the
by
unknown
us.
has claimed.
So the unknown has taken it. So I guess we should stop talking about it.
No, it's his book now. We're gonna. I'll say we're going to take the unknown's book.
What am I thinking?
And we're gonna set it to the side.
I told John to stop talking. What am I thinking? All right, so. You got that one.
Let's do the other one. I mean, it's right here. And
go ahead. My
favorite DC character is on the cover, along with the overhyped, promoted, overexposed Superman. This is DC Comics Presents number 26. I absolutely love this cover. This is DC Comics 26, 1980. This is the first appearance of the Teen Titans.
What did Dave write? Let's be honest, every book John grabbed.
That's great, Dave.
Well said, Dave. Well said. Don't use the holder. Don't listen to him.
I got to use the holder for the Silver Age. I can't afford to replace
come
those.
On.
This I actually have 2 copies of at home. If I ruin it, I could just run home and get this.
All right, let's take it easy on John. He doesn't have his name in the graphic. Okay, let's take it easy
There's
on
a
John.
reason I don't have my name in the graphic. Look at the book.
We're working on it. JD's he's looking for a box of crayons right now. Give him a minute.
What is the ask for this book?
Let's see. DC Comic Presents number 26. We have one at 125. Do we have a presumed grade on that one?
It's around 5.5, 6.
We're going to say 5.0.
Yeah, we're going to say 5.5 is the presumed grade on
5.5.
this. $1.25 for first appearance Teen Titans, Cyborg, Raven, Starfire. DC Comics Presents is one of those titles that gets lost between Brave and the Bold and some of the other team books they've done, team-up books.
First Teen Titans, first Cyborg, first Raven,
No discount for you.
No discount for you.
Doing the soup. And we can't say that word either, I think.
What word can't we say? But just to be clear, from the offstage whisper, apparently I was not. This is the first appearance of the new Teen Titans. First appearance of Cyborg, Raven, Starfire. These are characters that have been in multiple versions of the comics, multiple versions of the TV series, which I believe season 3 drops next week. There is a ton of merch associated with Cyborg as well as Raven and Starfire. These are characters that came out of the 80s, monstrous characters. There was a online discussion with, I think, Louise Simonson talking about female characters in comics, and she referenced both Raven and Starfire as characters that really pushed forward the boundaries. You know what I mean? You had Starfire being almost like the very typical female character on the outside, and on the inside she was something very different. And then you had Raven sort of being a more, out in the fringe portrayal of a character. I think for $1.25, this is a nice score for somebody. What do we want
Let's do a.
What do you want to do?
Let's do a Jennifer Blood.
Nice. This is a character that I'm not going to talk a lot about because I've talked a lot about it a bunch of times. I'm just going to say this. This is a great book.
And when he says that, he means comparatively.
Comparatively, the 4.5-minute story. No, it's not a 4.5-minute story. I'll tell you right now, this is a great book. It's a great character. It's a great story. It's a crime drama. It's a revenge story. There's a lot of gunplay in here. It hits a lot of, it hits a lot of notes. This is the ultra limited black and white cover for Jennifer Blood 23.
So suggested retail of 100, but this is going to be our perfect 10 read for the night. So we have 3 available, and we're going to do it at 10.
Nice. This is nice. I know, exactly, JD, $10. Are you kidding me? This is Sergio Fernandez to be a great.
Wait. I think we have a question from Alex. The price on the DC Comic Presents is $125.
$125.
And a presumed grade of 5.5.
It could, and that's one of those things, if you get it pressed, cleaned up a little bit, you could be above 5.5, but we always like to go with what we can pretty much be certain of, as is. And you decide that, you want to kind of, take it from there. That's totally up to you. This book is, let's just throw it up here because someone asked it real quick. This is the first appearance of the new Teen Titans, Raven, Starfire, Cyborg, and a very cool, this is one of the, now it's commonplace, but Green Lantern did not always have the best covers representations in this period. This is just, this is one of the things where for years afterwards in comic book discussions, when people would talk about how powerful Superman was, the first word out of my mouth was, well, I'm just going to power ring Kryptonite and he's done for the day.
Because you can buy that in every convenience.
You can buy that in every convenience. A power ring. This is our perfect 10 read of the night. $10. I just, this is a chase book that will be significantly more than $10 anywhere, including your local comic book store, which you should always support.
Let's see. How many series of how many?
I don't know how many of those we have.
25 copies.
Yeah, these generally Dynamite limits these runs quite a bit.
So tonight we have, out of the 25 copies, we have 3, and it's $10 with a suggested retail of $100.
Yeah, you're basically getting this book for 90% off. The Unknown is going to be claiming one. That's a great score. There's 2 more left tonight. I should not be going home with this. Let's put it that way. We're doing this stuff so that you guys have these opportunities. However, 801, chances are I'm probably taking that home. So make sure there's none for me to take home.
You want to jump on another silver?
Let's jump on another silver. Load one up.
Let's see. Which one are we going to do?
60?
60. Where's 60? Oh, there's 60.
Let's kind of hit the silver vein here. Let's hit a few of these in a row because these Silver Age books are just...
So X-Men number 60, and we have the one tonight for 140 and presumed grade on that one.
Do we have the presumed grade on this?
I don't have it on my sheet.
6.0 is the presumed grade.
6.0. Oh, there you go, JD.
Sauron on the cover, very cool character. We've talked about this. I'll just mention it again. This is this sweet spot in the X-Men history of Roy Thomas, Neil Adams. There's a new energy to the stories, really kind of dialing into like the end of the 60s, beginning of the 70s, right, with how the stories are paced, how the panels are put out and drawn.
So show me. Here.
Put that one back. Sauron is one of those characters named after the Sauron from the Lord of the Rings. They're very clear about that.
Just so everybody can kind of look.
First appearance too.
It's Sauron's first appearance. Sauron is part of that world where, it's the savage land. His powers are sort of something you hadn't necessarily seen before. When you had the first 40, 50 issues of the X-Men, you basically knew who you were getting. You were getting Blob, you were getting Magneto, you were getting a few other characters. Sauron comes along.
And the Unknown. It is, let's see, $140.
$140.
Presumed 6.0. So I know the Unknown is a big Silver Age buyer. He's got quite a few from us, and I'm sure that's only...
These are just really, really sort of... Why don't you throw the next slide? I kind of want to get to
number 61. All right, there we go.
Another Sauron cover.
And JD, depending on you for the presumed grade. So this one I think is a good one, though. So presumed grade of 7.0.
This is a really, really nice looking book.
And the Unknown claim 60. All right, so 60 is gone. All right, so this is 61.
Another Sauron cover. These are just sort of, these books were the first books I remember as a little kid not putting in a box because they were so cool. I kind of tucked them into the frame of my mirror,
right?
Which, of course, makes comic book collectors say, what is the matter with you? But, back then it occurred to me to, have them pressed, graded slab, put plastic.
Bend it a little forward. There you go. So show people how nice that 7.0 is.
So it's a 7.0, so you can see it's a really good looking copy.
I'm going to hand this to Rex so he can kind of show you the corners and the sides.
You can do it, bro.
I cannot.
Yes, you can. No, who's going to stop you? Nobody's going to tackle you while you're on the air. Well, I shouldn't say stuff like that.
I wish you had a stunt double to run in and just knock me out of this chair.
All right, so a bit of a reflection, but this is a very clean copy.
It is just a super, super clean copy. We're presuming 7. It could be higher than 7, let's be honest, but we're going to give you what we feel comfortable with, and then if we're wrong, CGC can correct us. But this is going to be at least a 7.
So $75 tonight. We have the 1. Let's see. I'm of course a sentient spam bot. So, all right. So let's see.
Let's get to 62 because this is a book. This is one of the first books I ever bought a second copy of because I liked it so much.
All right. So this one is X-Men number 62, and we have the 1 copy. And JD will throw up the presumed grade there in a second.
This is where I absolutely fell in love with saber-toothed tigers. I did not know they existed as a little kid until I saw this book.
All right, so X-Men number 62 is, we have the 1, presumed grade of 6.5, and we have it tonight for $80.
If this is your, if this is your jam, this is a great opportunity to sort of fill in those gaps.
Yeah.
Because these are books that are significantly discounted for this presumed grade. I mean, sure, you can always find a reader's copy for $20 that, it's a reader's copy. It's great.
Let me throw in a few things. I'm back from the warehouse. Let me just toss in a few things.
He's got silver dust on his shoes.
That's quote. Your thoughts are small, X-Men, like your forearms. Now, let's talk about 62 a little bit more. You ready for this? First appearance of the Creator. First appearance of the Savage Land Mutants. First appearance of Amphibious. First appearance of Barbarous. First appearance of Brainchild. First appearance of I can't pronounce that. Equilibrius. Thank you. English is my second language. First appearance of Gaza. First appearance of Lupo. First appearance of Piper. And so much more. Sorry, that caught my attention. That is a beautiful copy.
Yeah, this is a beautiful copy with a lot of X-Men historical cred. Marvel, actually, not just X-Men. I'd say in the whole, the entire mutant universe. Personally, it was the first time I'd ever seen a Sabretooth. When I found out that they actually existed, I was ecstatic. It looks like the Unknown has claimed 62.
All right.
It looks like, sorry, Alex. It looks like the Unknown just sort of.
I'm sorry, Alex. The Unknown beat you by literally probably a second. So, all right. So we've got one more X-Men. Should we do it?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it.
it.
And then we're probably kind of creeping up on break time again anyway. And we'll probably pop these up again,
Well, I don't know if we have any. So we only have
the ones that aren't.
Yeah, 59 and 61. All right, so let's pull 63. All right, so we have 63, of which we have 1. And JD, you'll throw up the presumed grade of 7.0. There we go.
7.0, another really sort of, clean copy. Presuming it about a 7.
7.0. And we have
the first appearance of Lorelei.
Thank you. First appearance of Lorelei, Magneto on the cover. Magneto covers are always sweet.
So we have 1 at $145 tonight.
Neil Adams Interior.
Neil Adams Interior. Says the man behind the curtain.
I've mentioned this a little bit. This is the Roy Thomas, Neil Adams sort of run, which wasn't nearly as long as it should have been. But this
would have liked it
to have been. But this run sort of were the seeds from which guys like Chris Claremont came along later, and and really kind of created the X-Men universe into it's a 25, 35 year powered money making and creative success for Marvel.
So just to repeat myself, which we do a lot of on this show, number 63 X-Men, $145. We have the 1, presumed grade of 7.0.
Alex, you know what? If you're wanting and needing a 62, email Rex maybe we can try to, I feel bad that you missed it by that close.
Rex.wang@dynamite.com.
And, if something, if something shows up in the ether.
And Alex may have joined us a little bit later. Whatever, and this applies to everybody that's watching. What if there's something you want to see, something that you need, something you want to see more of, something, that you haven't seen yet on our show, let us know.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. The comments, or, you can reach out to the show on any one of the social media platforms. Follow, like, friend, subscribe, and message the show.
Yeah,
hey,
and we'll try, we'll always try, with the vintage stuff, Silver Age stuff, the bronze stuff. It's what we can pick up on the open market as well. But obviously we have an audience for it. So we try to bring, a fair amount of vintage books to every show now, along with the slab books, along with the signed books, along with, of course, big fans, Ken Hazer remarks.
Oh, yeah. And when we give you the presumptive CGC grade on these Silver and Bronze Age books, bear in mind, they won't be lower, but they may grade higher.
Right.
Especially,
we're being super conservative.
We're being very conservative here, rather than say someone, it's probably a 9 and it's a 7. And, I would rather it much be the other way around. I would rather,
under promise, over deliver.
Yeah, than the other way around. And I hate to say it, but people have said to me, in different groups and discussions, I don't like this, I don't like that, because, it's not, it's that way. I would very much like people to say, wow, you know what, I picked this up on, Rex's show, and
Rex and Peggy show.
No, it's just Rex and blank. I'm blank. But I'd rather someone say, hey, I picked this thing up, and they said it was presumed at a 6, and it came back at a 6 or even higher.
Real quick on the X-Men 59, because I wasn't here earlier.
Sure.
It is also the first appearance of Dr. Lycos. It is also the first appearance and death of C6, R7, Z2, and the apparent death of A3. This is the huge Neil Adams, Roy Thomas run that people covet. I don't know what the price of the 59 is, but thought I would mention it.
Is that 59 $45? Is that right?
59 is $45. That is correct.
That's probably a real nice 45.
And JD, got to take us to break, don't you?
Oh, yeah, JD, take us to break. We come back, we'll have a few more really cute things.
There's something for every imagination at your local comic shop. Visit ComicShopLocator.com to find a store near you.
Oh, there's finally a graphic, and
I gotta give a shout out to Dave Cerrone because his chat comments are giving JD a run for his money. Yeah, I gotta say, kudos to you, Dave.
Dave wants to join the cast, man. We appreciate, and before we get started, this last 30 minutes of the show, or 26 and a half minutes, whatever it is.
Alex is claiming number 59. All right, Alex.
Alex, nice.
Gotcha. I got you down here for number 59. Just make sure you fill out the submission form.
Yeah, JD is going to hit you up with like a link or something.
Yeah,
you click it, fill out the form.
But go ahead. I'm sorry to interrupt.
No, I was just going to say this last 25, 26 and a half minutes, whatever it is.
Oh, wait. I got to interrupt you again.
Why?
Watch check. What kind of watch do you have today?
Very quickly, this is a Ballast Model 3.
Turn this old X-Men around. Only show what's left.
Okay. No, turn it around.
Yeah.
It's the man behind the curtain again, Dave.
It's the man that should be hiding more.
Don't worry. Next week, we're going to have Amy back because, there's only a limited cast size. This is a Ballast. This is a Model 3. Ballast was a UK company that for a while was selling watches stateside.
What's special about it, though?
The movement is a custom Swiss-Japanese hybrid.
I thought that was like a Batman emblem at first.
It's not. I do have a Batman watch, actually.
Well, can you wear some comic watches?
You know what? I've actually got I'm trying to work a deal to get a Superman Invicta watch because I've gotten a few Superman watches.
We know that's not the only comic book watch you already own, okay?
I've got Disney, I've got Star Trek watches.
Okay. We're waiting for him. Come on, John. Okay.
He should come in full Batman. No, actually,
I agree with that. Who wrote that? Oh, that's JD. I agree with that, JD.
Actually, no.
He still owes us a dance.
I would probably, you know what? It would be like Kevin Smith. It would be the Fat Man as Batman instead of Fat Man on Batman. I'll have to see if I had like a Batman ski mask at one point.
Bring it. Come on, man. Bring it.
I'll do this. You know what? We'll do a night where we have all Batman, and I'll see if I can wear the thing.
I can arrange that.
I don't know. But yeah, Ballast is a company. You can go on Facebook, find them, Ballast. They make great watches, silicone bands at a price that's.
And before I interrupt John,
then you'd find it in the store.
Sure. I figured shake it up a little bit. We do want to thank everybody for spending the time.
Oh, absolutely. We have a blast doing this. We hope you do too. If you are, we'd ask that you like, subscribe, friend, follow, hit the notification bell so you know when we're coming on. And if you're enjoying this, share it with your friends and family, people in the different groups you belong to, so that they can enjoy along too. The larger the audience get, the more books we can offer, the better the discounts can be. The more of Nick's stuff we can give away.
And we'll still spend the time just blab on whatever comes to our mind anyway.
This last now 24 and a half minutes, we're going to kind of go maybe a little bit quicker because we want to make sure we see everything. Everyone sort of, gets their shot. They get their turn at bat.
So, all right. So what do we got next?
Next thing we are doing is a Ken Hazer remark. I meant to do this a little bit earlier. This is signed by Matt Fraction, who we have talked about this before.
Yes.
He is not currently hip deep in the industry. He's working on screenplays and some of these other sorts of things. You have Fraction's signature. Have Ken Hazer's signature. And once again, we talked about this. Ken has done multiple versions of Mjolnir and Stormbreaker. And I got to tell you, he just... Oh, it is basically, I say we'll call it a double remark.
One on the front, one on the back.
We've got one on the front, one on the back.
So
his Thor is just, I'll tell you right now.
Everything he does.
He does my favorite Odin. I think it's very.
So, hold on.
I just mentioned this.
This is 205, right?
Yep, you got it.
Awesome.
Sure.
This is.
All right, so we got pizza. Guys. So we'll be back. No, I'm kidding.
No, go ahead. The pizza just arrived. Make sure Nick gets another.
High tech. That's
It
Odin
is
on the
nice,
back
Zach.
of that one. So-
Ken just does my favorite
So pick your
Odin.
favorite
man.
character. Odin, Thor,
We have
So-
Odin, Thor. Is it
or
Beta?
Loki.
Is Loki?
Yep, Loki's the other one.
And Loki is the other one. And I got to tell you, these are just sweet beyond the telling of it.
Oh.
What is the ask for these? 'Cause this is
So,
what people have to be
suggested
wondering at this
retail is
point.
$196.20 because really you're getting two.
Yeah, you're getting 2 remarks
on the one book.
and
So
a Matt Fraction signature.
we have these 3. One is Thor. One is
Loki.
One is
and
Loki.
One is Odin.
One is Odin. And we are doing. They are $83 each. So if you pick one up, let us know which one you're looking for.
Nice. Look at JD, just a fraction of the MSRP.
Let's see.
And
Wilfredo wants. Let's see. John. Pizza grease on your hand.
Oh no, I will not be
Listen,
touching anything.
If somebody buys all 3, they can have it for $249.
All right. So if you buy all
If
3,
you buy all
the voice
3,
behind the curtain says you can have it for $249.
That's $83 each.
that's $83 each.
So if you buy 2 burgers, okay,
No, you know what? Make it $248. I'll throw in the $1.
so it's $248 because John's throwing in $1.
These are just, and I got to tell you,
They're
We-
$83 for Journey into Mystery 83.
oh, you see that? We just, it's $38, $83, sorry. For
Jesus, God.
clink, 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 clink. No, it's $83 for Journey into Mystery 83. These are just, and if you notice, Ken does this. He does, the cover ostensibly is the same. Mjolnir. Each one is a little bit different. The shading is different. The inking is different. He just
Each one is its own unique
It's
sketch,
unique.
but 83 or 3 for $249 reminds me of a meme I saw, food meme, as a matter of fact. Some food.
buy a
food
burger
truck-
twice the price and get a second
hey, you
burger
get the second
free.
burger
Yeah.
free. So same deal here. Okay, without the
I got to
burger.
tell you though, this is a great way. It's the Ferris Bueller thing. I highly recommend this if you have the means. For $249, you are getting essentially 6 Ken Hazer remarks and 3 Matt Fraction signatures. Fraction, quite frankly, is not signing at anywhere near the level he was previously.
Right.
And he's kind of moved into that part of the industry where there's a lot of screenwriting and stuff like that.
If you buy all 3, you have the triumvirate. You have Odin, Loki, Thor. You have the High Father, good and evil.
We know, Wilfredo.
We know.
That's the running joke.
Can you mute Nick's mic? Oh, that's not a nice comment at all.
Wait, who said that?
I did just now. No, I mean, that's a great point, though. I mean, you look at this story, and Thor has taken a lot of directions, but essentially this is a story about a guy and his 2 kids that can't get along.
The deal actually is it's not $249, it's $248 because John's throwing in $1.
If the dollar pushes the sale over, I'll be happy.
All right, only because Wilfredo said it. We'll go down to $239.99 to make it a little bit of a deal.
Oh,
right.
wow, nice.
Wilfredo, the voice behind the curtain, otherwise known
Wilfredo,
as
this is
the Great
the
Wizard of
Wilfredo
Oz.
special tonight. These 3 will be $239.99.
And you get the trilogy.
And you get the trilogy.
I mean,
These
right
are
on.
just super nice. These are very Ken, we just like Ken on this show.
We do. I mean, if he didn't notice.
We have Ken we should have Ken do a remark where it's you and I. In
Yes.
front of the laptop.
Yes.
Right? Yeah,
I agree with that.
I'm sure he's got time to do that. Nick has
Why
got
not?
705 more things for him to do.
All right. So what do we
Speaking
got
of
here?
signatures that, you kind of jump out at you, James Tinian the Fourth. I mean, this guy is just
It's on fire.
it's on fire. This is Batman Who Laughs, Grim Knight #1, signed by James Tinian IV. This is Scott Snyder. I believe the interior art's done by Eduardo Risso. This is a jock cover, right? Yeah, this is a jock cover, I think.
And we have 2.
Silver signature right here. I always forget I'm on the wrong side of this thing. Silver signature right here.
Opposite side, yep. And we have 2 available
we have
tonight.
2 of these. What is the ask?
Suggested retail is $49.99, and we have it tonight for $27 for Detective number
Comics 27.
You got it.
This is really nice. The comic show that discounts for the Batman. This is just this is a book that people really they went after. They went gunning after this thing.
Limited to 40 copies that were ever signed, and we have, what do we have?
How many do we have left? I think we only have
2.
There's 2 of these?
So we have number 4 and number 8. And that's all. That's what we got.
Wilfredo, do you want number 4 or number 8? Your call. Wilfredo takes one. He will decide 4 or 8, and there's one other left at the number that Wilfredo does not select.
So, yeah, just make sure you tell us which number, Wilfredo. Ooh, that's one we forgot.
This is one that we sort of forgot. You know what? I don't have... Do you have this on your sheet?
I do.
Okay, I'm sorry. Tales of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles number 6. This is the first appearance of Leatherhead.
And we have 1.
We have 1 of these. I'm not surprised that we just have 1 of these.
And a
looks like Wilfredo wants number 4. We're good, bud.
Okay.
So that means the other one of those that's left is number 8. Wilfredo has claimed 4.
So Wilfredo has number 4. Got it, Wilfredo. And then, okay, so back to the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Presumed grade of 8.5, and we have the 1 tonight at 150.
First appearance of Leatherhead. This is a real nice. It is a totally rad 150. This is one of these things where if you know the TMNT community, they do not miss anything. Books.
They do not.
Books are in the wild for a minute, and they are gone. They absolutely they leave no stone unturned. Something that's a first appearance like this, you're not, it's just there and it's gone.
Well, you've used the wild, you've used soil today. You have a real outdoorsy theme.
I do. You know what?
Ooh, you know what? We have another perfect read.
What is it?
Black Bat number 1.
This is a series from Dynamite that I absolutely love. We have it.
Wild
Vegan
Comic Kingdom,
art,
sponsored by Mutual of Omaha.
Nice.
Good one, JD.
This is Marcos Martin.
Dave a run for his money.
This is really, really rare. Like, I haven't seen it before rare, which for Dynamite, if I haven't seen it, that's pretty rare.
So high-end
Black Bat is a great story, by the way.
Vegan
great
cover.
Character.
What's it limited to? Can you see on the back there?
This was limited to 100 copies.
All right, so 100 copies ever printed. Suggested retail at $50. We're going to do the Perfect 10 read at $10. And when we say Perfect 10 read, we mean the read, not the grade, obviously.
No, for $10, this is. I don't know if you see anything. I don't know if you see anything vegan for $10.
No, but we've been doing a lot.
We've been doing them. People really seem to like them. I mean, it does help that we just kind of go into Nick's office and take this stuff off the wall. And I'll tell you right now, even if you don't pick this up, go find the Black Bat. It is really sort of like one of those books that flew under the radar. People don't talk about it nearly enough. Black Bat's a great story. It's one of those things where, you can see from the cover, if you like your characters masked, packing heat, no qualms about laying down the law, this is your book.
Hey, guys, real quick.
Sure.
We have a sneak peek for Monday.
Ooh, sneak peek.
Now, this past Monday, we had a sneak peek for today, and Unknown Comics, thank you very much, bought one of the books right away. We just picked up this collection today, so we will not be able to sell any until Monday till we grade and price them. But I thought I would give a sneak peek to Monday's show.
Okay.
Spider-Man 27, Green Goblin.
I mean, he's just walking in the door with the pizza.
3 hours ago. No, they did not walk in with the pizza. They do not have grease on them. Marvel Superheroes presents Guardians of the Galaxy first appearance.
Hair.
Fantastic Four 24 with the Infant Terrible, and you can Google why people are going after this. Avengers number 7, Their Darkest Hour, and wait a minute, I'm missing one.
Oh boy.
Well, anybody else wish Amy was here?
Satana Marvel Preview presents with the first Rocket Raccoon.
Oh, you guys know I love any of the preview books. First Rocket, yikes. So I'm going to let you know right now, as a spoiler alert, that will not be a perfect 10 read for $10. That much I can let you know. We will have more presumed grades, prices on Monday. That's what we're looking at on Monday.
If Amy were here, we just sell them for whatever. But the voice behind the curtain is Nick, so we can't do it. Sorry, you're gonna have to catch us on Monday.
Well, we want to make sure that we look at these. We want to make sure we get an accurate grade presumption.
All right, I wanted to pull 4 more because what would be better than the Fantastic Four number 7, Tales of Suspense 66, Amazing Spider-Man 23 with the first appearance of Norman Osborn, and Silver Surfer number 2. So these just came in today, and they will be available on Monday's show with the 2 classy guys showing them, not me.
Oh God, we've been replaced. Yikes!
And again, I know that the Unknown picked up Usagi on our last show during the preview when we did the preview this. The only reason that happened was it was Amy in charge.
It was Amy in charge.
Today, there's nothing I can do for you. Sorry, guys.
Speaking of the Silver Surfer,
Dave, don't hurt yourself, man. Pick your jaw back up. Don't let it hit the floor like that.
Yeah, Dave, we were asked to find Silver Age books, and that's what we did.
That's right. If it was me and Peggy, we would have sold those to you already.
Oh my goodness. Speaking of Silver Surfer, this is one that we can actually. This is signed by Donny Cates. Unless you've been on a desert island somewhere, Donny Cates is like a kaiju creator in the industry.
The desert island. So
this is a Tradmore cover, signed
Silver Surfer Black number 1, signed by Donny Cates,
signed in silver.
Thank you very much. Obviously Donny Cates is a signature that everybody's hunting for these days.
This is number 18, and I think there's only 180 of these made,
and we only have 4.
We have 4. What is the ask on that?
Tonight we have those 4 for $39 each.
That's nice. The signature, the cover, very sweet. Obviously, silver signature cover for Silver Surfer. There's only 180 of these printed. We've got 4. $39 is a great price for this.
Let's see. Wilfredo, as signed 4. Which one? Silver Surfer, buddy? I'm assuming that's what he wanted.
Yeah, let's just make sure we clarify exactly what he wants.
Well, Fredo, throw it in the chat there. Let us know that it was the Silver Surfer number 1 that you wanted, just so we can confirm.
I just want to make sure we didn't. This I've kind of been saving towards the end of the night.
Which one?
Because
damsels.
This is if
got
there's.
it, Wilfredo.
Thank you, sir.
All right, so go ahead.
Damsels number 8. I mentioned this guy before. This creator is really high on my list. Joseph Michael Linsner. Ultra limited cover. Damsels is just a great read. And this is in my beloved emerald green.
Again, the line art.
The line art
not be for
is
everyone,
just,
but,
you know what? It's one of these things where if you know, you know. This book is absolutely killer. The story is great. There are not Dynamite, much to my chagrin, has not done a lot of emerald green ultra limited covers. Hopefully, being as close to the office, it'll kind of soak into the groundwater, and we'll get more. But for right now, there's black and white. We do get some really nice blood red variants. We don't get a lot of emerald green.
All the references you make, like groundwater. I think you wanted to be a farmer or something, bro.
I come
It's a wild.
I come from farm folk. My family comes from Lancaster County, so.
And now you're in the comic books and watches.
Well, they
and
grew
glasses.
they grew and raised the food, and I sold it. So, yeah.
So all right. So
the MSRP on this was originally what?
100.
I was going to say I've seen this before.
As JD is telling us on the scroll.
Listed at 100. What?
We're doing it for $50 tonight.
Nice.
And we only have 2 available.
We only have 2 of these, and you're getting them at half price. These are just absolutely gorgeous. I got to tell you.
Can I CGC the Silver Surfer? Yeah, you certainly can. So are you, Alex, just to clarify, are you asking us if we have it in a CGC grade or can you get it CGC? So just to be clear, I don't know if we have it in a CGC graded slab. I would have to find out. But I think
We do not.
the voice behind the curtain says we do not. So unfortunately, it would be something that you'd have to go get graded at CGC on your own.
Cinderella, Sleeping Beauty, Snow White, Little Mermaid. This is sort of like Fairy Tale Fantastic Four. Just, I love this book. So, is there any comics popping in? Good evening. Thanks for joining us. We really appreciate it.
Thanks for joining us. Unfortunately, we're almost done.
We're almost done. A better show is probably on the way up, but
Hey, no way. No way. No way as entertaining as you and me, Jeff.
I'll tell you right now, this is a really hard to find book at half price.
So, and we only have 2.
We have 2 of them.
To do a quick recap before we got to go.
And there's 25 of these, to be clear. Sometimes we have books that are 50. Sometimes the last book was 180. There's 25 of these printed.
So extremely limited in edition. When we do these ultra rare ones, I mean, the edition numbers are always very small. So they get a handful printed up this way. So wondering if CGC will give me a yellow label if I send it in. Man behind the curtain, do you know the answer to that question?
It may not be a yellow label because there was no CGC witness.
It may not be a yellow label because there was not a CGC.
Dave, thanks for joining us. We have a ton of fun doing this. The audience is kind of a big part of this. Hopefully we see you again next time. We'll be back on Monday. Friday, Nick will be here with original art.
Yes.
And hey, tell oh my God, I can't. Jay and Matt and Guy, we said hi.
So did you hear that, Dave? Dave may have already bounced. But Alex, my email is rex.wang@dynamite.com. And if you have any more specific questions about that in CGC, I can definitely answer you.
Yeah.
Via email.
Absolutely. Reach out to the show. That's a great graphic. Yeah. Just keep in mind, CGC is a little backed up. So, we don't want anyone to get super psyched thinking, their books are coming, promptly, because they're coming, but promptly is not the adjective I would use. If you like the show, if you've had fun with us tonight, consider subscribing, follow, friend, share, please, so that we can get more viewers, more books, deeper discounts. Set those notification bells up if you don't mind. So, you'll get a little notice of when we're coming.
Thank you, Alex.
I want to thank Alex, Dave, the Unknown, Wilfredo. Was Ron here too?
I didn't see Ron.
Everybody who popped up, we really want to just thank everybody for doing this. Otherwise, it's just Rex and I talking to Nick, and nobody wants that.
So I hope you guys had fun. We always have fun.
Rex has shouted out his email a bunch of times. You can also at the show.
Yeah, exactly.
At the EXP_1
Whichever
or
is easiest.
_EXP1.
Right.
I'm sorry. And let us know what you want to see. If you're chase books, and we'll see what we can do. That's the whole point of the show.
We'll always try to
kind of
you guys tell us.
reignite the the
we're
motor
just
here.
we're just here just talking endlessly about anything that comes.
I just take all the Nick stuff home anyway. No, it's not true. That's absolutely not true.
It's true.
I think we're just about done, right? We were told to be out of here at 7:58.
That's right. Kyle scolded us, but JD is a lot more fun. So
thanks to Nick for hopping in here, kind of filling the Amy role, making sure that we actually had everything online.
But Amy will be back on Monday.
We'll be back on Monday with Rex and I. Thanks for joining us. Friday, we will have Nick on original art.
Just to go through the week of shows, original art on Friday, 7 to 8 Eastern. Mondays and Wednesdays, 6 to 8 Eastern time, will be comic collectibles. But be sure to catch the original art show. He's not as fun and good looking as me.
John, I don't know about that.
But he brings.
Before we get in any deeper, JD, take us.
John will be here to bring the show up.
Oh, I'm sorry. John will be here to bring the show up,
JD,
according to the man behind the curtain.
JD, take us out of here before we get in any deeper. Thanks for joining us, everybody. Have
Thanks,
a great
guys.
night.